Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to I believe this is the 14th episode of the Creators Corner, where we hang out and just have really candid conversations with amazing creators out there. My name is Rob Balasabas. I'm the brand evangelist here at TubeBuddy, and this is a live show, so feel free to ask your questions. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome to the replay. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to ask your questions as well. We'll make sure that we tag Justin for anything that we can answer. So he's going to be doing most of the talking here, but just a quick introduction of Justin. I'm going to share his YouTube channel here with his brother Mike. 2 seconds, and you're going to see Justin as well. It's going to pop up on the screen here. Hey, Justin, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Guys, Justin is one half of the Primal video team, the better half, maybe he'd say.
We can say that because the other one's not on here.
He's not here. But his brother Mike is the other half of this amazing duo. They're in different time zones. I'd love to have them both here, but Justin is in Australia. Mike is in Singapore, I believe, and I'm in Vancouver. So the scheduling is a nightmare. So
it's for the best that he wasn't able to make it. So it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Guys, Justin and Mike, their YouTube channel is now at just over 400,000 subscribers and almost 40 million views. These guys are crushing it. Justin is the video guy. Mike is the process and strategy guy, so it works perfectly. Justin just spoke at a really large conference last week that we got to hang out in San Diego. So Justin, quick introduction, who you are and what you do.
Well, thanks very much for having me on. Pumped to be here. And yes, it was awesome hanging out with you last week at Social Media Marketing World. So that was awesome. So yeah, my background is in video production, and I got to work with some really amazing and crazy people. I was mainly like an extreme sports action camera man back in, feels like a previous life. Had lots of near-death experiences and those sorts of things, filming crazy people. And I'm glad now that teaching and helping people on YouTube is a much safer place to be in. So what we do at Primal Video is we help people grow an audience and scale their revenue with online video. So we're all told these days that video is the key, that you need to be using video for your marketing strategy and to get leads and traffic into your business. But how do you make the video? How do you make an effective and efficient video? How do you then get views and subscribers or leads from it? And then how do you make money from that? So that's essentially what we teach at Primal Video across those three main areas.
Yeah, no, awesome. So this is really what I would love for you to share with our audience today. I want to say hi, everyone, to everybody on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn Live and YouTube. We're sort of everywhere right now. So Justin, just speak to our audience, because your videos are, from looking at it, are around 8 to 12 minutes long on average. Looking at them, there's some outliers, of course, that are a little longer, a little shorter. But you do a really good job with keeping attention and having a really good format to keep people watching throughout the entire time or most of your videos, which is really the key to success on YouTube, is watch time. So I'd love for you to share sort of like your 5-step template that you follow for each and every single one of your videos.
Yeah, definitely. And we started where everyone else does, and we were creating the content that we thought that that people would want. Our videos weren't showing up in search, and then when they did, and we managed to have views on, that we weren't able to hook and engage people throughout the content. So I think that's the biggest piece that we see a lot of people miss, especially once they use tools like TubeBuddy and everything to get their videos ranking, is keeping their viewers engaged throughout the video. You could have, the world's best content to share, but if you're not able to engage people, to hook people first, to let them know they're in the right place, and then the flow on to keep them on and engaged throughout the video, then it's kind of wasted at that point. So there's a 5-step structure that we implement and that we use through every video, and you can almost see on our channel growth where we started implementing this, and really this is something that we tweak and we hone and we adjust, but it always comes down to these 5 things and using them in these 5 specific, or in this exact order, really is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to run through each of them. I'll tell you what they are, and I'll dive into each of them. So the first one is a hook. Then you want an intro. Then you want to obviously talk about the content, what you're promised. Bonus. I'll get to that one in a little bit. That's something that's a bit unique. And then your call to action. So the first thing you want to do is the hook. And I know that a lot of people have heard this stuff before, but I can't stress how important it actually is. You've got to think on YouTube specifically, someone has clicked your video, but they've clicked your video amongst all the other videos that are out there on YouTube that are shown up in search, or all the little thumbnail icons that are displayed on YouTube in general. In some cases, there could be over 50 and they've clicked yours. So you need to let them know immediately that they are in the right place. And how you do that is almost reiterate what that title of the video is, or the subject of the video is, immediately. Ideally, you're doing the title should match the thumbnail, should also match what's written in the description. And if you're saying it in the video, it's all around making your viewers know they're in the right place, making them relax into your content without thinking, oh, should I have clicked one of those other ones? Maybe this person's going to talk too much, or maybe I'm not going to connect with them. He doesn't seem like someone I would resonate with. So you need to get them relaxed and comfortable into your content immediately. So an example would be, for best, say, video editing software would be, in this video, we're going to cover the best video editing software on Mac right now in 2020. And then I'd probably then go on from that. There's lots of options out there. We're going to help you break down and work out which one is the best one for you. So a really quick intro like that. I've highlighted the pain or the problem around what it is that people are probably experiencing with, in this case, video editing software. But I've also said that I'm going to cover this specifically. Now, even if you're doing a vlog, whatever you're titling your vlog, you could use either elements of that, and whether it's a voice or tease what's going to happen in your vlog a little bit later. So if something exciting happens later in the vlog, tease that really quickly towards the start of your video to hook people. Like, wow, what was that? I need to stick around to watch that. So it doesn't necessarily need to be spoken, but for us, we will always use a hook first off. And I think that is the biggest piece. Beyond that, you can then move into an intro. So an intro is the second one, which is where you've kind of got your viewers relaxed at this point. Okay, I believe this person, I trust this person, is going to talk about what I want to know about. You can then introduce the topic a little bit more. So I would then say, look, I don't know if you've ever looked online to see all the different options for video editing software, and there is a lot out there. I've gone through and I've tried and tested all of them. And so in this video, we're going to run through the pros, the cons. I'm going to break this down for you to help you decide which one is the right one for you. So there's a little bit of repetition there, but it's more expanding out on what it is that you've said that you're going to, your promise, your hook, what it is you're going to deliver in that video. But you also then can introduce yourself and your channel. So I would say something like, hey, it's Justin from Primal Video, where we help you grow an audience and scale your revenue with online video. So I'm introducing myself, the channel, and more about the topic in this section. Again, it's relatively quickly. You don't want to be talking for minutes here. But again, it's to let the viewers know they're in the right place and that you are the one that, adding some credibility or letting them know that you can help them with this. From there,
that's really good. Sorry, really quick.
Yeah,
how long does that usually take? Because I know that you get into the meat, I think part 3 of your template here, but like you get into the meat of your content like pretty quickly. How quickly should that hook and that introduction be?
So I mean, we don't have a goal with it beyond being as quickly as I can. So it will depend on what it is. Like if it was the video editing software, it literally would be that. In this video, we are going to look at the best video editing software on Windows in 2020 so that you can decide which one is the best one for you. Bang, that's the hook. So no more than that. For us, we bring up a quick title at that point. Then the intro would be no more than a minute, really. And it really is to kind of branch out a little bit more around the topic to let people know that you get them. Yes, there's a lot. The decision process is overwhelming, whatever it might be for the specific video, and intro yourself and the channel. And I mean, you could throw out a quick subscribe call to action in there as well. Like if you're new, make sure you hit subscribe. We'll usually do that as well, but it's got to be like a passing comment, not to break the flow of the video. You want to keep people moving fast through this so that so that people know that you're going to get to the meat or the content relatively quickly. I think the longest we've ever had is probably about 1.5 minutes total, and I wouldn't say take that as, oh, Justin said it was okay to do 1.5 minutes. Try to make it as short as you can. Would be the underlying thing here.
Got it. Yeah, you answered the question I was going to ask, which is like, do you think we should do the subscribe call to action in the introduction or wait till the end? But yeah, you answered it really quickly.
I think you should do it if it's quick, not sort of pause or whatever. Oh, and by the way, while you're here, if you haven't subscribed, now would be like, you can drag that out, but I would say to try and do it really, really quickly. It's almost like you're telling your friend, oh, PS, by the way, if you're new here, just hit that subscribe button. So we try to do that kind of stuff quickly so that people know that you're not going to slow down the delivery of the content, and you're not going to speak slowly throughout the rest of the video. Now, you could also bring it up as a title on screen, remember to subscribe or something. One of the easiest ways to get subscribers is surprisingly to ask people to subscribe. As silly as that sounds, people are like, oh yeah, all right, I'm not subscribed. Oh, yeah, so it definitely works, and we will say it, but we'll say it pretty quick.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Thanks for answering that. Let's get into number 3.
Okay, number 3, and we're going pretty quick through this stuff. So we had hook, the intro. The third one is the content. This is where you actually want to deliver the piece that you've said that you're going to. So in this case, the example running through, I would be listing out the different pieces of video editing software, the pros and cons. I would make it in this section everything that you need to know to be able to walk away from the topic of this video knowing everything. Don't tease them off to other pieces of content or other videos. If they've come in for something, make sure in here that you are giving them everything that they need. And it really is kind of taking a step back and saying, if I was watching this video, what would I expect to see in it? Or what would I want to see in it? In some cases, like we've been sent out products and those sorts of things, and just a standard review of one product is kind of something where I look at and go, all right, that's okay, but I really personally want to know how it stacks up against this other product. So we'd go and buy the other product and put them head to head. So those kinds of things is looking at it from the eyes of the viewers. How could you make a really impactful video, leaving the viewers saying, wow, I got everything I needed from that video, and they've answered all of my questions. So that comes down to your planning, but some good things you can do with the content piece itself, because we're all talking about increasing watch time and keeping your viewers engaged, is to have videos, and this isn't for all of them, but some good ways to increase that watch time would be to have like lists, top 5. So if this was top 5 video editing software, people are going to stick around for number 5. In case 1, 2, 3, and 4 weren't the ones for them, they're inherently going to stick around longer for number 5. But essentially in this section, the content, you want to make it easy for people to follow along, to know where they're at. Obviously, if we're listing out different pieces of video editing software, you would say these are the ones we're going to cover, and then jump into those sequentially so that it's a logical flow for people. It's easy. It's not jumping around back and forth. You're not getting to the end of one and saying, oh, I actually forgot that Adobe Premiere has this advantage. You've got to have that all together and succinct to make it easy for people to follow.
Yeah, no, I love that. And hanging out with you last week, you actually told us that you've got this really cool strategy where you put a timeline, like a progress bar. You want to tell people a little bit about that as well?
So that's something we've been playing with and testing, and essentially, so for most of our videos now, especially if it's a top 5, top 10 something video, or even in the case of the best video editing software or best video editing apps, we'll have a progress bar along the bottom, and it would just have the numbers. People may not know what that next app is or next program is, but they could see progressively throughout the video where they're at and when the next one is going to start. So that would help them flow through the video and stick around for the next one. Again, if you're speaking about something that they already know about or isn't relevant to them, they'll hang around for the next one, and they can see that that's coming really, really quickly. So again, we're just trying and testing stuff to increase that watch time, and that's something that seems to be working really well.
Yeah, no, that's great. And also another thing, just to add on that before we get to number 4, is that Nick, one of our buddies, Nick Niman, he says that the middle numbers, if it's a list, he stops mentioning the number in the beginning so that people kind of lose track of, oh, this is number 5 out of 7, and they just stay on anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one. I haven't tried that. It could make sense as well, because especially if you've got a longer list, or people, I mean, a big thing is where people feel like they're getting towards the end of the video, they don't start to get a little antsy, but they're kind of like, what am I doing next? What's my next move? Should I go make a coffee, or should I watch another video? So there's a different strategy in that as well. So for us, we kind of counter that with the next thing, the bonus, to keep people engaged beyond the content. So with the content, the biggest thing is as I said, to deliver everything that the viewer would need to take action on this or to solve whatever it is that you're talking about as the content. So the bonus then becomes the over deliver. Now, this is where you, as the expert, know if someone has come to your video, in our case for video editing software, I know that if I actually mention some video editing tips in there, they're going to be likely interested in it. If you're looking for video editing software, who doesn't want to learn how to edit faster? So that's where we have a bonus section. And again, this is relatively short because the meat of the content is really done at this point. But this is, again, to increase watch time, but also to add viewer, the viewer experience, to add to the viewer experience, so they feel like, wow, this guy has just helped me so much, or this channel has helped me so much. So in the case of video editing software, what we would do at that point is we would give 2 or 3 top video editing tips that are going to be related to that content. So after we've said, here's all the pros and cons, here's all the different options, we've helped someone decide which one is the one for them, we then go into 3 editing tips. Now, what I will do here is I will tease that I'm going to do that back in the intro section. So after we've hooked them in the intro, I will tease and say, look, and make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm also going to share with you my top 3 editing tips that are going to make it way faster for you to edit in any video editing software. So I'll then might mention it throughout the content piece as well. If it's a longer form content piece going for around 10 minutes or something, I might say between maybe number 4 and number 5, make sure and again, remember, at the end of this, I'm going to share top 3 tips to help you edit much faster in any application. So in the bonus section, that's exactly what you're doing. You're over delivering on something that you know is relevant or know is going to be helpful for someone based on the video that they have come from. Nice. After that, we're going to move into the call to action.
Yeah, no, that's great. No, I'm sorry. I was saying, no, that's really good. That's I love that you're just adding it on basically. And then the trick I think there is that a lot of people don't include is sort of the mention in the beginning that, hey, stay tuned. I'm going to be showing this. It's a thing that you test, I guess, right? It's like, do I mention how much of it do you mention?
So it's about, they call it opening loops. So you want to open a loop, and then as humans, we need to have a loop closed. It's like if you started vlogging, and like people do this all the time on Instagram. I know I'm guilty of it as well. You start Instagram stories throughout the day, and people come back and want to watch, and you might be walking into a movie or something. And then if you don't pick up that story at that point and say, the movie was good, the movie was bad, everyone watching just goes, well, like, what happened? Yeah. So it's like you watch the movie halfway through and it stops. So they call that opening a loop. So if I open a loop and say, at the end of this video, I'm going to share 3 tips, that's a loop that's open. And for anyone that's interested in that, they kind of want to stick around just to hear what those 3 tips are. So there's lots of little subconscious things that you can do, but I like them because they're again positioned around adding value to your audience. And this, it shouldn't be something that's totally different. It should be something that is on topic for anyone that is watching that specific video. How can you help them, or what else can you share with them at that point so they do stick around?
That's brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Number 5 to wrap it up.
Okay, so number 5 one is a pretty obvious one, and is your call to action, the next step for your viewers. So these are the people that have watched all the way through to the end of your videos. These are the people that loved your video. They want to know what's next. You should be helping them with that as well. So in this, it could be that you're linking to other resources, someone else's video, one of your videos. Give them a next step for them to take beyond watching this. So in the case of this video, what I specifically would do is I would mention a PDF download that we would have for this specific use case. So I know that they've come in for video editing software. I know that I've then shared 3 tips for them. I would then say, hey, look, those 3 tips were just 3 of 12 that we have in our free PDF download, which you can grab from the link on screen, or it's below in the description. So we can get them onto our email list, or continue that conversation with them off platform, or in some other videos, and probably for most of the videos on our channel, we would link them to another video. So now that I know that you have your editing software, selected. If you'd like to learn how to edit faster, check out the video linked on screen where we take you through the ultimate video editing process. So we know that we're not just linking off to random videos. We know that if they've come there, they've just watched a video on editing, let's send them to something else that's going to be relevant or something they're most likely going to be interested in. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have a library of content yet that you can start moving people between, link them off to somebody else's video with the next best video for them. Obviously, it's got to be a good video, but it's all then about continuing that user journey or the user session on YouTube. If YouTube can see that you are keeping someone's session alive, they say the average time for people going down the YouTube rabbit hole of watching content is around 40 minutes or upwards of 40 minutes, which is ridiculous. You want to be the one that doesn't stop that session. All right, I watched Justin's video, now I'm out. No, you don't want that to happen. You want to link them to your content, someone else's content, to keep that user session going. So that is your call to action.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, that makes so much sense. But you touched on there too that you will link to someone else's video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's totally, and for your channel, that's totally fine. You're just continuing the session time, right?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people would say that that's you know, oh, why would you help your competition out? I want to grow my own channel. I want to get views on my own channel. It's like there's other ways that YouTube will reward that. It might start to feature your videos more because it's more looking at time on platform is the biggest thing that YouTube wants. You definitely don't want people leaving after every one of your videos. It's not a good indicator for YouTube that they should keep featuring your videos. If every time they send someone one of your videos or feature it or show it up in search that they leave the platform, they're gonna stop doing that pretty quick. So you've got to look at it as YouTube as a platform, as a business. What does it need? And it needs people to continue that journey. So I mean, there's not really any downside in moving someone or at least linking off to some other channels. If you're a newer channel, it's going to help tie your channels together so that YouTube can say, all right, people that watch this are also watching this one, especially if it's a much bigger channel as well, then you can actually start to leverage off that channel, and your videos would likely start showing up in suggested behind the videos because you're creating a link to YouTube that the viewers or the traffic flow from one is going to the other. So the channels are alike. So yeah, there's not really any downside in doing that, but a lot of people will not do it to start with or don't think to do it because they want to keep everyone in their world. But if you don't have the video that is the next best video for your viewer, send them to someone else that does.
That's so good. That's so good, guys. I've never really heard, to be honest, I've never heard that advice, but that makes so much sense. You don't want to disrupt the session time for that viewer. You want to keep it going, and you kind of want to keep passing the potato kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. Yeah, go ahead.
It's an interesting one because even in regards to this example that we've run through this of video editing software, you might think that we've got camera reviews or things around filming. So now that you have your editing sorted, let's show you how you can film better. But and while that is a link, I don't think it's clear enough of a link. If I'm someone that's just searched for for video editing, I've typed into the search bar, I'm in the game for video editing software. While it might be nice, I might get distracted with the filming stuff because there's a link there. It's not directly related to what I'm on the platform for, which is where you really have to be super specific. And so it could be an editing tutorial. It could be someone else's video where they share their thoughts on the same topic, same video. It doesn't really matter as long as, I mean, they've watched your video first, right? And they've made it to the end. That's all the things that you need to have happen for YouTube to say, hey, this was a good video. And this viewer had a good experience here. They didn't leave, they didn't click on something else. If they take that next step, even if it is to someone else's video on exactly the same topic, that's gonna hold strong for your channel as well.
Amazing, amazing, awesome. So hopefully, guys, that's really good advice. You know, this is something that you don't usually hear. I talk to a lot of YouTube content creators, and I never hear that advice, and that's really, really awesome. I'm asking for questions, Justin, but everyone, they're saying that you basically covered everything. So
sorry about that. Yeah.
So this bites for you says, I don't know what to ask. He's going over everything. No, that's good.
I'm just psychic. I know what they're going to ask, and when they ask it,
you're just on it. You're just on it. There's a good question here though. Do you advise having calls to action throughout the video, like maybe a third or halfway through the video, or like a card that will pop up to watch more about this specific tip or something like that? Like, is that something that you feel disrupts the view time, or what do you think of that?
It's an interesting one because we definitely do it, and it's a great question. We definitely do it in some videos where it's if I'm mentioning a product, I might say, oh, look, there's a full video we've got on that, and I'll link it up in the cards. I haven't looked at the data on it to see if that means that people are leaving at that point to go and watch the other video, in which case I don't know if it's worth doing it. So that's something that for the most part with the videos, we used to do it all the time, link off to other videos. I think now I don't do it anywhere near as much, and I'll put the links down in the description, and I might call it out and say, look, in the description, there is people are less likely to go to the description in the middle of a video to click off to another one, where if it's up there on the screen, that might be a convenient way for them to leave, and then they might end up clicking on the other video. It's not what they want, and then they're off YouTube altogether. So I try not to use the cards anywhere near as much as we used to do it. On some videos where it's maybe a resource kind of video or a broader topic where we're mentioning a lot of different pieces of content, I might do it on that one. There really is no right or wrong. And I know this is a general answer, but my feeling with it and what we tend to do is put the links to all of the related stuff in the description. And I will call it out to say links to everything that we are mentioning here are in the description below. And that way people are more likely to click them towards the end of the video or later in the video instead of towards the start where they might leave and go and watch something else.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, mention at the end so that they're not leaving 10 seconds into your video kind of thing.
Yeah. But in the start of every video, I will say that links are in the description. That's part of my intro. So after the hook, in the intro, we will give them sort of, make sure you subscribed if you haven't, and links are always in the description. We want to call that out because, I mean, if you're looking to grow affiliate revenue, if you're looking for people to deepen that relationship with you and watch more of your content, it's a great place to put those sorts of things in there.
Perfect. Good advice. Quick question from Graham. How are you recommending those other videos that would be the next step? Is that in the bumpers? Is that in the comments? Like it's a first comment kind of thing that you pin? What's your strategy there?
So we don't really do too much with pinning comments and first comment. I'm seeing a lot of channels do it. Nick and D Nimmin, the first two that come to mind, will always have something in there as the pinned comment. Maybe we should, but for me, what we're talking about is the end cards or the end screens. Sorry, and I'll call it out on screen. Linked on screen now is this, and what we'd normally do is have two. So I will pick one video that's related to the content, and then we'll also have the YouTube suggested video on there as well. And sometimes I'll even call it out and say, linked on screen is a video like that's obviously related to the one that you've just watched. And this is why that video is going to be a benefit to you. But the other video on there, that's from YouTube. And I don't know what it is. I hope it's good. The YouTube suggested it. Like I'll have some fun with it. And just like, I don't know what it is. I hope it's good. But clearly it's another way that YouTube can help extend that viewer session on beyond your content, knowing that they can place a video there that they think is going to be relevant to the viewer as well. So we always just try and test. Obviously, if there's two things, if I'm mentioning say an editing software thing and there's an iPhone and Android, I would link to two of ours in that case. But yeah, for the most part, we'll go two videos linked on screen, one of ours that I call out and mention, and the other one could just be the YouTube suggested one.
Very good. That's really smart. What do you suggest? A couple more questions here. Do you go back and change? This is a little bit more sort of off topic here, but do you go back to your older videos and change titles or descriptions to get lift on old videos? Is that something you guys do?
Yeah, some of the biggest videos on our channel tanked when we first put them out. So we really and this is going back years. So it's not something that we just change after a week or something. If we do the keyword research and research the topics and things up front, and then after say 3 months, 4 months, sometimes a little longer, it's not something we do religiously, but if we look back at some of our underperforming videos, like, wow, that video I know was a really solid video and I know it could have helped a lot of people, we'll then go back and we'll re-optimize the video. So we'll change the titles, the tags, the thumbnails in some cases, and what that does is almost refresh it in YouTube's algorithm and sees it as almost a new video. And we have found multiple times that when we have done that with an underperforming video, it has boosted them through the roof. So some of our videos around filming on iPhone and filming on Android, which is some of the biggest videos on our channel now, originally, I uploaded them. There was a little hit of traffic and then nothing for 6 months. So just changing the title, the thumbnails, and the description on those was enough to re-kick it back into YouTube algorithm. And yeah, they're still bringing in, some of them, 1,000 views a day now, 5 years after we've uploaded them. So I would definitely say yes, but not to do it immediately. We see people that are having a video up for a week and saying, oh, this video tanked. A week is not long enough. I would say at a minimum 3 months. You need to let it sit there, let it filter in, but you need to be doing your keyword research or your planning up front to know what people are searching for and what your best way of getting that video ranking is first, and giving that your best shot. You can also do things like A/B testing or split testing your thumbnails, which TubeBuddy is amazing for, to get those clicks once you're showing up in search. But if you do have a video that is dead in the water, is not doing anything after that period, then definitely go back and redo some keyword research. Make sure that is in line with the video and that you are hitting on those big keywords in your titles and in your descriptions. Give it another kick into the YouTube algorithm.
I love it. I love it. You guys are in a space where there's a lot of change. There's always new iPhones. There's always new apps and stuff like that. So I guess, how far ahead do you guys create your videos? Because, like 2 months, if you guys are like 2 months ahead, then technology can change a lot. And then B, how often are you doing an update on a really successful video topic?
Those are good questions. Great questions. So at the start of a year, we will do the best X for Y video. So right now, you just had on the screen there, best video editor for Android 2020, best video editor for iPhone 2020. So there's remakes of videos that we do every year. They're the ones that we have coming out progressively now. I think we've got best video editing software, Windows and Mac are the next two to drop on our channel. So we like to get those done towards the start of the year, because your lifetime on a 2020 video is going to be a lot longer if it's released at the start of the year than the middle of the year. Now, previously, we were doing those sort of sporadic throughout the year. So this is, I think, the first year that we've got them all kind of done in once. A lot of people might look at that and say, well, you're just damaging your channel by having all of this content that's very similar all released at once. Beyond that first week or 2 weeks, your viewers, your subscribers don't care when the video was released, because for us, we optimize for search. So if people are searching for something and find it, they don't care if I released 5 videos around similar topics at the same time, because they're finding the one ideally that is the one that is going to help them, is suited for them. So that's why we'll do those towards the start of the year, ideally. And yes, we redo them, we remake them. Tech does change, software does change, and my recommendations change. I don't think I've ever released a video where it's like, you know what, this is exactly the same as last year. My recommendations haven't changed. But to what you were saying around how far ahead we shoot our content, everything for us is planning, is systems and processes. It wasn't originally. I'm not the process systems guy. I was creating a video a week, releasing a video a week, and it seemed to take me a week to make the videos. Mike is the process systems guy. And he's like, look, we need to work on you doing batch creation and those sorts of things. So it took a while, but we now have a system where we'll do all the research for the videos. We'll plan at least 8 to 10, and I'll film 8 to 10 over the period of a week. Now, we only release 1 video a week, so we're essentially making a little bit more than 2 months content at a time. Yes, stuff changes, and it is really frustrating when it does. So what we will try to do is look at our best guess as to what could change and try and release those videos first. And then, there's others that are less likely to change. So video editing software in Windows and Mac, it's unlikely that there's going to be a major update or a major change to that stuff. Whereas apps, this is changing all the time. And it's, I might list a price or something in the video, and by the time, if it's 8 weeks later, things definitely could change and have changed. So it's whether we reshoot the video, which we've had to do, or whether we take that piece out, or readjust the editing or add a voiceover or something like that in. But batch creating, I'd say, has been one of the biggest things for my sanity and for the growth of the business. And I would recommend to anyone, at least if you're setting everything up to film a video, at least try and do 2, so that you're not just having to set up and pack up everything for each go.
Nice. Amazing. Awesome. I'm just going to go through and see if there's any other questions here. Really quick question, Justin. Other than PDFs, somebody from LinkedIn Live here, what are some other lead magnets that you use?
Cool. PDFs work really, really well for us. It could be linking off to exclusive training. So we run free training workshops where they'll have to opt in for it. So that's a perfect lead magnet or lead incentive. What else do we use? Job descriptions. So we have videos around, we like teaching people how they can hire editors. I think the biggest thing that is holding a lot of people back, especially when they're looking at implementing video for business, is that they think that they need to do it all themselves. Unless you absolutely love video editing, it's one of the easiest things that you actually can outsource. And so we have a job description as a lead magnet off the back of one of our videos on YouTube showing how you can hire a video editor. We link to our job description. So if you're looking for ideas, it could be anything that is exclusive content. It might be unreleased podcast, unreleased MP3, any unreleased video or exclusive video content, an interview with someone maybe. It's something that it's obviously an exchange for someone's email address. So yeah, lots of different options out there, but free training is another one that works really, really well.
Awesome. Sounds good. Before we bounce out today, I want people to know about what you guys are working on as far as your membership and things like that. Can you share a little bit of information and where to find that as well, Justin?
Yeah, definitely. So primalvideo.com is our main website, obviously, but we have our accelerator program, which is a closed membership site. So we run through certain intakes throughout the year. The reason it's closed and not just open all year round is so that we can focus our attention on working with our members in there and not just having people drop in and drop out. But essentially what's in there is all of our processes, all of our systems, our templates, our checklists, exactly what is working for us in our business and growing on YouTube and growing revenue right now. And that's the stuff that we keep updated. So it's not like a course where you start here and finish here that might be out of date a year after or 2 years after you actually signed up. This is the kind of stuff that we just share the stuff after we've battle tested it in our business. So it's not just random things that could work. It's like, this is all the stuff that's worked for us and works for our clients. And that's what we keep updated in our accelerator membership. So yeah, there's a wait list on there, primalvideo.com/waitlist if you'd like more information.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'll link to that for sure, Justin, after the session so that everybody can go check it out. You know so much, and I think we could probably do this every month, and you'll deliver value to the community each month. Before we sign off, what is one thing that you want to share as far as like for somebody that's just starting, or they're sort of like in that early stage, that snowball effect hasn't really started for them yet. What is one advice for them that they can take away today and start implementing?
I'm going to give 2. I know you asked for one.
Okay.
I'll give two quick ones.
Of course you will, yeah.
The first one I would say is always start with the research. Use tools like, to give you a plug, use tools like TubeBuddy. This is what we do. We don't really create many videos unless we've looked to see, is there an audience for the content that we are creating? Or even the videos that I might want to make and think, like, this is a really good topic. I'll do the keyword research first, because the topic may change a little bit. I can still guide them to where I want to take them and knowing what's going to help them. But doing the keyword research, I would say, is probably the most important thing. Beyond the second one, starting. A lot of people will go through courses and programs and watch what everyone is doing without actually doing it themselves. Their intention there is to start, and I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Start. Your first videos are going to be your worst. If you want a good laugh, go and check out the early ones on our channel. I was exactly the same. I'm a behind the camera person, not a in front of the camera person, but it's all stuff that can be learned. But the only way to learn it really is by doing it. I know that sounds obvious and you hear it a lot, but it's the biggest thing that we see holding people back is they get in procrastination with learning and not actually doing. But the fastest way to learn is to do it. So use your phone, use your webcam, whatever it is, create videos, and just know that they will be your worst ones and that you can grow. So every time you're filming a video, every time you're uploading, every time you're doing your keyword research, look at ways that you can improve. And yeah, that little improvements over time are going to add up, and you will be able to do this much, much faster.
Amazing. Awesome. So do the research and then take action and don't just
That's
sit
it.
on the information. I love it.
Yeah.
Justin, thank you so much for everything, and appreciate you taking the time. And I don't know what time it is where you are right now.
9 a.m. It's morning. It's
Oh
coffee
man,
time.
morning. All right, go grab some coffee. But perfect, awesome. You're all set. Everybody that's on the live, thank you so much for hanging out again. I think we are good tomorrow, so we'll see you all back here on the Creators Corner with TubeBuddy next week. So enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. If you're watching this on the replay, drop your questions. We'll tag Justin as well. All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you.